Coming up next on Jersey Matters, it was an historic and stunning election. Donald J. Trump is president. What does that mean to the political parties and to the country? We'll talk to two political strategists from New Jersey. Also, what does it mean for Governor Chris Christie? Will he get a job now in the Trump administration? We'll talk to one of the people who knows him best. And what about the polls? Were they off? We'll talk to a New Jersey pollster about what went right and what went wrong. Those stories and a whole lot more because Jersey Matters. Welcome to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Menti. We come to you from the New Jersey State House this week on the day after an historic and stunning election, Donald J. Trump defeating Hillary Clinton to become the 45th president of the United States. The big question on both sides of the aisle now is, what happened? To try to answer that question, Chris Russel, Republican strategist, and Bill Pascrell, III, Democratic strategist. I will start with the Democratic side because I would imagine at this point there is a blame game going on behind the scenes. You've been involved in many campaigns. What's happening now post-election?
Well, Larry, it's good to be here this morning with you and Chris. I got to tell you, this is a shock. It's a shocker. I got caught up in the moment. There were moments at which I thought that Hillary Clinton could win this election, but there was this vibe in the country that I think was overwhelming. This is a wave election. There's going to be a lot of criticism and a lot of self, reflection. I think the Democratic Party has the work cut out for them, and I want to kind of summarize it in this caption and pay tribute to somebody who I know you know well, is Joe Biden. Whether Joe Biden would have won or not, well, we'll leave that up to others to decide. But Joe Biden said 18 months ago that the Democratic Party has lost their way with white men, and it proved itself. In addition to that, I don't think the Democratic Party can any longer claim the grip on the minority vote. I think a lot of minorities, unexpected, didn't show up in the polls, but showed up yesterday. The Latino vote, Trump got a bigger Latino vote than Romney. Who would have thought that? I
saw that you effectively didn't blame anybody, and I understand why, but I want to come back. Just even if you don't name names, I want to find out what's going on behind the scenes. He gave an analysis of what happened. Do you agree?
I agree with a lot of it. I agree with a lot of what Bill said. I think you went from an election where people were talking about 300 plus electoral votes for Hillary Clinton 2 weeks ago, now looking at Donald Trump maybe getting those 300 plus electoral votes himself. That's a wild shift in the last 2 weeks of the campaign, and I think there was an undercurrent in the country, certainly in the middle of the country. I think we tend to be in a bubble here sometimes in the New York, New Jersey area, like they are on the West Coast. In the middle of the country, people were frustrated, economically frustrated, and I think Trump gave rise to their voice. And I think they spoke loudly yesterday, and I think it's got, certainly the media establishment shocked, a lot of people in the political establishment on both sides shocked or at least surprised. And I think you really see a reshuffling in some ways, too, of what the partisan lines used to be. I mean, who are the voting blocks for Republicans and Democrats? Donald Trump really gave birth again to what were Reagan Democrats. They may be Republicans now in terms of registration, but those people, blue-collar, white voters, union voters, people who maybe wanted to build the Keystone Pipeline, these were Trump voters.
He said he was going to turn blue states red. How much was the trade issue? How big did that play in states like, well, Ohio was a battleground state, but in Michigan and in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania?
I think it was enormous. It's not just the trade issue, though. I think the economic pressures that these people are feeling, they feel left behind. And there's been a lot of talk about income inequality. It's been a buzzword in the last several election cycles. But I think there's people there who felt an opportunity for them to advance and to do what they want to do. There's a cap on them, a ceiling. And they felt that Donald Trump was the person who maybe could punch some holes in that ceiling.
I'll give you a chance to respond to that as well, but I do want to find out what is going to happen. Is the Democratic Party, is there some introspection going on right now, going into the next cycle?
Yeah, Larry, of course there is, and it started last night. The party's in total shock over what happened. There was points of time where Donald Trump made a statement about, if I went out on Fifth Avenue and shot somebody, I would still, do well and win this election. And we made fun of him. The Democratic Party used that to kind of say what absurdity was. We should have been educated by that because it was actually a true statement almost, with hyperbole. This is an unparalleled candidate in the history of our country. We haven't seen anything like this. Going into Election Day, most Republicans that I talked to who were a part of the Trump campaign thought Hillary was going to win with 300, maybe 300 plus. There was, a little bit of talk about whether she'd eclipse, 300. The Democratic Party is going to try to lay claim publicly to her winning the popular vote. To me, that's a Pyrrhic victory. That's baloney. You run elections to win, not to kind of stand on some pedestal over the popular vote. And I think the other thing is we do not have a deep bench. Our party does not have a deep bench.
We have 4 years to get one. And,
there you go.
When we come back, I want to find out if the Republicans can come together, because there was dissension, if they can come together after this election and get into some Jersey politics when Jersey Matters continues.